The ancient wisdom of karma has been misunderstood by countless seekers throughout the ages. Many believe karma to be a cosmic punishment system, a divine ledger of debts that must be paid through suffering and hardship. But Paramahansa Yogananda, one of the greatest spiritual teachers to bridge East and West, revealed a far more empowering truth about karma and our relationship to it. He taught that we are not helpless victims of past actions, but conscious creators who can transform our destiny through specific spiritual practices and shifts in consciousness. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, give me a like, comment below about your thought and hit subscribe button so you don't miss any video inspired by Yogananda's teaching. Thank you very much. Yogananda often spoke of karma as the law of cause and effect operating in the moral and spiritual realm, just as gravity operates in the physical world. Every thought, every action, every intention sends ripples through the fabric of our existence, creating patterns that shape our future experiences. Yet he also emphasized that this law, while inexorable, is not cruel. It is actually a manifestation of divine justice and mercy, giving us exactly what we need to grow and evolve spiritually. The question that troubled seekers would often bring to Yogananda was this: how can we free ourselves from the accumulated karma of countless lifetimes? How can we stop the wheel of action and reaction that keeps us bound to suffering? His answer was both simple and profound. He taught that there are specific ways to check, neutralize, and ultimately transcend karma, allowing us to live in a state of inner freedom regardless of outer circumstances. Among his many teachings on karma, two particular practices stand out as especially powerful for creating a problem-free life. These are not magical shortcuts or wishful thinking, but practical spiritual techniques rooted in the deepest understanding of how consciousness creates reality. When applied consistently and with genuine devotion, these two karma checks have the power to transform even the most difficult life situations into opportunities for spiritual growth and lasting peace. The first karma check that Yogananda emphasized is the practice of deep meditation and communion with the divine. This is not merely sitting quietly for a few minutes or engaging in relaxation techniques, though these have their place. What Yogananda taught was a profound method of withdrawing the life force and consciousness from the senses and the body, and directing it inward to experience the soul's true nature. Through techniques such as Kriya Yoga, which he brought to the West and taught to thousands of disciples, practitioners learned to neutralize karma at its source. How does meditation accomplish this seemingly miraculous feat? Yogananda explained that karma is created and sustained by identification with the ego and the body. When we believe ourselves to be merely physical beings, subject to the limitations of matter and time, we create karmic patterns through our desires, attachments, and aversions. Every time we react to life from this limited perspective, we strengthen the chains of cause and effect that bind us to the wheel of birth and death. But in deep meditation, something extraordinary happens. As we withdraw our attention from the external world and dive into the infinite ocean of consciousness within, we begin to experience ourselves as we truly are, eternal souls, made in the image of God, unlimited by time, space, or circumstance. In this state of expanded awareness, the karmic seeds that would normally sprout into life experiences are burned in the fire of divine wisdom. Yogananda often used the metaphor of roasting seeds. Just as a roasted seed cannot germinate and grow into a plant, karmic seeds that are exposed to the light of superconsciousness lose their power to manifest as future problems and difficulties. The practice of meditation does something even more profound than neutralizing past karma. It prevents the creation of new karma by transforming our relationship to action itself. Yogananda taught the principle of non-attachment, which does not mean indifference or withdrawal from life, but rather performing all actions as offerings to God, without selfish desire for the fruits of those actions. When we meditate deeply and regularly, we cultivate this state of consciousness naturally. We begin to act from a place of inner guidance rather than ego-driven compulsion. Our actions become spontaneous expressions of divine will rather than karma-creating reactions to external stimuli. This first karma check requires dedication and consistency. Yogananda recommended meditating deeply every day, ideally for extended periods. He taught that even a few minutes of true superconscious contact with the divine could burn away mountains of karma that might otherwise take lifetimes to work through. He would often tell his students that 1 hour of deep meditation could save them from years of suffering. This is not an exaggeration but a statement of spiritual law. When we touch the infinite consciousness that is our true nature, we step outside the realm where karma operates. We become witnesses to the play of cause and effect rather than helpless actors caught in its drama. The second karma check that Yogananda emphasized is equally powerful and perhaps even more accessible to those who struggle with formal meditation practice. This is the cultivation of unconditional love and selfless service. Yogananda taught that love is the greatest neutralizer of karma because it dissolves the very foundation upon which karma rests, the sense of separation between self and other. Karma operates through the law of duality. We create positive karma through good actions and negative karma through harmful actions, all based on the fundamental illusion that we are separate beings acting upon other separate beings. But when we awaken to the truth of unity, when we realize that the same divine consciousness animates all beings, the entire karmic structure begins to collapse. Love is the direct experience of this unity. When we love unconditionally, we are not loving another person as separate from ourselves. We are recognizing and celebrating the one divine presence that expresses itself through all forms. Yogananda taught that selfless service, or seva, is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate this transformative love. When we serve others without expectation of reward, recognition, or return, we are acting from our true nature as souls rather than from the ego. Each act of genuine selfless service burns away karmic debts and creates a reservoir of spiritual merit that protects us from future difficulties. More importantly, it shifts our consciousness from taking to giving, from contraction to expansion, from fear to love. The practice of unconditional love extends beyond formal service to encompass our entire way of relating to life. Yogananda encouraged his students to see God in all beings, to treat every person they encountered as a manifestation of the divine. This practice, when done sincerely, has the power to transform even the most challenging relationships and difficult circumstances. When someone treats us unkindly, instead of reacting with anger or hurt, which would create new negative karma, we can choose to respond with understanding and compassion, recognizing that they are acting from their own pain and ignorance. This response not only prevents new karma from being created but actually neutralizes the karmic pattern that brought this difficult person or situation into our life. Yogananda was particularly emphatic about the power of forgiveness as a tool for karmic liberation. He taught that holding grudges, resentments, and grievances keeps us bound to the very people and situations we wish to escape. Every time we replay past hurts in our minds, we strengthen the karmic connection and ensure that we will have to face similar situations again until we learn the lesson of forgiveness. But when we genuinely forgive, from the depths of our hearts, we cut the karmic cord. We free not only the other person but, more importantly, ourselves. This practice of forgiveness must be authentic, not merely intellectual. It requires us to feel the pain, acknowledge the hurt, and then consciously choose to release it, recognizing that the person who harmed us was acting from their own limited consciousness and that holding on to anger only perpetuates our own suffering. Yogananda would often remind his students that forgiveness is not condoning harmful behavior but rather refusing to let that behavior continue to poison our own consciousness. The combination of these two karma checks creates a powerful synergy. Meditation gives us the inner strength, clarity, and divine connection necessary to love unconditionally and serve selflessly. And the practice of love and service purifies our hearts, making it easier to go deep in meditation and experience our true nature. Together, They create an upward spiral of spiritual growth that can lift us out of even the most difficult karmic situations. Yogananda emphasized that these practices must be sustained over time to produce their full effect. Karma accumulated over many lifetimes cannot be dissolved in a few days or weeks of practice. But he also assured his students that every sincere effort counts, that no spiritual practice is ever wasted. Even if we cannot meditate as deeply or love as unconditionally as we would like, the sincere attempt itself begins the process of transformation. The key is consistency and devotion, showing up day after day to do the inner work, trusting that the divine is working through us to bring about our liberation. One of the most beautiful aspects of Yogananda's teaching on karma is his emphasis on divine grace. While he taught that we must make sincere effort through meditation and right action, he also assured us that we are not alone in this work. God's grace is always available to those who sincerely seek it, and this grace can dissolve karma in ways that seem miraculous from a human perspective. Through deep devotion and surrender to the divine, we can invoke this grace and experience freedom from karma far more quickly than would be possible through our own efforts alone. Living a problem-free life, in Yogananda's teaching, does not mean that we will never face challenges or difficulties. Rather, it means that we will no longer be controlled by circumstances, no longer be thrown into suffering and confusion by the ups and downs of life. Through the practice of meditation and unconditional love, we develop an inner stability and peace that remains unshaken regardless of what happens externally. We learn to see all experiences, pleasant and unpleasant, as opportunities for spiritual growth and as expressions of divine will guiding us toward ultimate liberation. The promise of these two karma checks is not just freedom from problems but the discovery of our true nature as infinite, eternal souls. As we practice consistently, we begin to experience ourselves as we really are, not limited beings struggling against a hostile universe, but expressions of divine consciousness, playing in the cosmic drama while remaining forever free in our essential nature. This is the ultimate goal of all spiritual practice, and these two karma checks are powerful tools for reaching it. Yogananda's teaching offers hope and practical guidance for anyone seeking to transform their life and destiny. By committing to daily meditation and cultivating unconditional love through selfless service and forgiveness, we can neutralize the karma of the past, avoid creating new karma in the present, and move steadily toward the ultimate freedom of self-realization. This is not mere philosophy or wishful thinking but a proven path that countless seekers have walked successfully. The invitation is always open, and the power to transform our lives lies within us, waiting to be awakened through sincere practice and divine grace.